In the Are We Crazy segment tonight, listen to this. 19-year-old Joe Karchanayev remains in federal custody in Massachusetts, but apparently on Facebook, there are thousands of postings, many from young women, sympathetic to him. At least one girl considered tattooing the terrorist name on her arm. Joining us now from Los Angeles, psychologist Dr. Wendy Walsh, and from San Diego, Dr. Moni Forrest, an attorney and psychologist. So this isn't new. Sympathy for the devil has been around. Almost every mass murderer has had a cult following. Can you explain it, Dr. Forrest?
Hybristophilia, Bill, or Bonnie and Clyde syndrome is what they call it. Now, look, there are a lot of theories out there about why this happens. We can talk about self-esteem, we can talk about bad boy syndrome, we can talk about you name it. For me, for these girls on the internet, I think this is about 15 minutes of fame and attention.
All right, so you don't think they're sincere in thinking this guy is worthy of some kind of sympathy. You think that they're just acting out.
I think this is like Justin Bieber.
Excuse me, go ahead.
Sorry, I think this is like Justin Bieber, Bill, for them.
So they don't equate death, destruction, arms and legs blowing off people, 8-year-old boy being killed, that doesn't enter into their minds of these people?
No, they see that all day long.
They see that.
They see that all day long in their media, Bill. And you know, one massive study out of UCLA showed that adolescents' values have changed dramatically in just the last 10 years. In 1997, some of their top 5 values included community feeling, kindness, self-acceptance. Then just 10 years later, in 2007, guess what was at the top for adolescents? Celebrity, fame, self-image, and financial success. So these girls are logging on to him. They don't care. Remember, plenty of reality shows, the people in them may be very bad and have terrible ethics, but they still make a lot of money. So to them, celebrity is what matters. And I think they don't think it's real.
It's hard to believe. Now, Dr. Forrest, if you had a daughter, 15, 14, posting on Facebook that this guy is a good guy, I mean, I would get my daughter psychiatric help. I don't think that's a joke. I would take that ultra seriously. And you say?
Well, I think you're right, Bill. I think you do have to take it seriously. I don't know if you have to jump to psychiatric help right away, but I do think you have to have a conversation about relationships and about denial and about what a real relationship is like, and that there's a difference between a crush.
Though? See, one thing that they all have in common, and every jailhouse murderer, every serial killer, Ted Bundy, I know him because I tracked that guy. They all have the same thing, all right? And it doesn't seem that the people who get attached to these monsters have any feelings at all for their victims. I mean, to say that Joe Karchanayev didn't do it, and you see that on Facebook.
They do. They find ways to rationalize it.
Well, you can't, though, because then you're into the insane zone. Then you're into, you got a real problem zone.
A lot of conspiracy theories out there. If you go read these posts, right, you know, this conspiracy theory or revenge or the government's lying about him,
the government's
it sort of
lying
plays into
about
that.
Him. They find him in a boat bleeding with bullet holes after he shoots it out with police, and the government's lying about him. See, what I'm trying to get across here, ladies, is this. If you have a young person in your life, and this is the mentality, this isn't like a crush on Mick Jagger or some bad boy rocker, all right? This is serious, all right? Then you're into a different zone. You're in a zone where if that's the way you feel, you could be coerced by a real-life monster to do bad things, to help somebody, do terrible things. And this has got to be taken seriously, Dr. Walsh.
I absolutely agree. I mean, I've always said this. Parents need to be their kids' Facebook friend and follow them on Twitter and reading their Instagrams so that they can use these as teaching moments to understand. But a lot of these young girls are rationalizing their behavior. They're thinking he was brainwashed by his older brother, and all of a sudden, he's the underdog, and they have compassion for him for some crazy reason. But this is a piece of it.
All right. Now, what should society do, all right, if anything? Because, again, we're an open, free society, and we report the news, and now we have this worldwide town hall internet business where you can say whatever you want with anonymity. Nobody knows that you're totally a lunatic because you have, a code name. Should there be scorn? See, if coming back, if I knew somebody was doing this, I'd get angry. I would scold them. I say, no, what's the matter with you? An 8-year-old boy is dead, and you're sympathizing with the guy who killed him.
You know what?
What is
You
wrong
should
with
go on.
you, not your car? You. What is wrong with you?
And I think you should go
look,
on
Bill,
Facebook
I think
and
there
do
is
that.
a
One at a
consequence.
time. Go ahead, Dr. Forrest.
Sorry. Look, Bill, I think there's a consequence. Do we scorn an 8-year-old girl? I think it's a teachable moment, as Wendy said. I think you make a consequence to it, and you say that this is
that's not
a
what I'm
person who
talking
did
about
really
here.
bad things.
I'm not talking
Okay.
8. I'm talking in the teen years. Last word, Dr. Wall.
Well, I think that you should go on Facebook and put a posting on their page. They'd be thrilled because you're a much bigger celebrity. But I think the truth is here that the internet can be self-regulating. And while there is this adoration of this young man out there, there are plenty of people also dissing these girls, shaming these girls, telling them that they're idiots for feeling it.
I don't know if they have any shame. I think shame may be going away. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. All right, ladies, thanks very much. When we come right back, Congressman Darrell Issa, who is convinced the Obama administration is corrupt, will present